What is going on, guys? Today we've got the final starter squad from the top 5 major leagues. So we've got the Ligue squad, we've done the BPL first, we did La Liga, Bundesliga, and then did the Serie A. So they'll all be kind of throughout this video in the little eye on the top corner. So go check them out, and then obviously at the end of the video there'll be some links to them as well. But today we're looking at the Ligue. Probably not my favourite league, to be honest. I think last year they didn't have many gold rares above 81, which made them actually really good for the team of the season. Obviously, with the upgrade packs, you could tend to get quite a few of them. Obviously, it was still harder to get the Neymars, the Thiago Silvas, the Mbappes, but it did make it a little bit more fun. So there is those swings and roundabouts with this league. Personally, starter squad, I would personally stay away from Ligue 1. At the minute, I'm kind of siding between the maybe Serie A, and then probably my favourite at the minute is La Liga. La Liga's always been a good one because there is kind of that. It's getting like the BPL would be my favourite, but it tends to be more expensive than the others. So La Liga's kind of that getting up there where they have quite a good range of ratings. So that for me is my favourite one, but. Anyway, Ligue 1, we're going again with a 4-3-3. Player, which is going to be the goalkeeper, is, I want to say LECOMTE. Yeah, this is going to be an awful one. 82 rated in the last FIFA. I think more than likely will stay the same again. Personally, Ligue 1, I have really no clue about their ratings. Like, this is probably the one league that I only ever see PSG's results. Sometimes catch Monaco's results, but to be honest, everyone else, so I've kept them, a lot of them the same, just based on what they've actually done in the season. But 82 rated keeper, there is a few others, obviously. Mandanda's always the one. I feel like he'll be a couple more K if you wanted to go with this Ligue 1 starter team. I think he'll be a few more K than obviously this guy instead. So that's personally my preference. You've obviously got Ruffier as well then. And I think Buffon's left now. He's gone back to Juve. And I feel like I miss... Oh, Lopez, the Portuguese keeper. Personally, if they go to an 84 still, if they stay at their 84 status, I feel like they'll be a lot more expensive at the start of the game for someone you actually don't want to spend coins on. Then moving on to the right back, I've got AGUILAR. Again, it gets better. It does get better. Personally, there isn't a great amount of right backs, and I really struggled with a lot of these. Dani Alves is obviously there. Meunier is obviously there. Lala will get a big upgrade, I reckon. I think he'll go up to at least an 81 or an 82, just due to how many informs he got. Very much like the Zapata in the last video. He absolutely blew up last year on FIFA, so I can imagine they're going to be the ones that are going to be more expensive right at the start. So personally, I'd stick away from them, and I thought, you know what, we'll give this guy a chance. Looking at his stats on FIFA, not FIFA 19, I'm kind of just basing my opinion on the right back basically off that. So let me know down below if you think anyone else deserves the shot in a right back position. Let everyone know, kind of just comment your predictions on each position as well as we go along. Next up in the centre back role though, we do have the newly transferred PSG centre back DEMBELE. Yes. Centre back from Dortmund has now moved to PSG, and he would have been the one that went in the Bundesliga one if he did not move, but should be a really nice centre back to put in next to obviously another PSG centre back, KEHRER. Again, German is not very good either. I think these two are very cheap, decent centre backs to start with. Both got a relatively okay amount of pace alongside a decent amount of defending as well. So for me, I think they're going to make two perfect starting centre backs. Obviously, then you have Marquinhos, you have Thiago Silva. I believe Naldo still plays for Monaco, I wanna say. It could have changed by now. And then I think that's relatively... You do have a few of the centre-backs kicking around, but they're the main ones that you want to see in people's teams. Then we move over to the left-back. Marcel, a good left-back from Brazil. Personally, not the greatest all-round stats, but still is probably cheaper because I think Kurzawa is going to be the best again, unless anyone actually takes his throne, because I think Mendy went to Real Madrid, the Furlan Mendy, so he won't go up anymore, well anyway in this league anyway, but I think this is definitely another good person to put in that position. Then we move over to the free centre mids. We have got our very first one, who's going to be CYPRIEN, who's a 78 rated player from Nice in the last FIFA. I've just kind of left him as his 78 because personally, I don't know how well Nice did in the league last year or how well he did. So I've kept him the same, just basing it off FIFA 19 for this one pretty much. Relatively decent stats all round. I think he's a good CM to start with. Again, like I said, this isn't the greatest league, so just bear with it. You can make upgrades very, very quickly, as I think if Gustavo does not go up, I think he'll be a nice one to get for that CDM role. And then you can start racking them out. Draxler, I can't imagine will be too expensive if he has stayed at PSG. Again, some of these players have kind of just left without me even knowing. The next centre mid we're going is Golovin. The Russian centre mid from Monaco. This guy is a little bit more of the attacking side, which is actually really good to have in these CMs. I try and pick a very well balanced CM because obviously with the 4-3-3 you can have the variation 4, I believe it's the 4 that has the cam. I think personally, if I was going for anyone out of the 3 centre mids I've picked, I'd definitely pick this one. Or at the very least, I'd go with 2 CDMs and put CYPRIEN in the first CDM role, Golovin as the centre mid, and then our final CM, which is Torsart from Lyon, as a defensive mid. Personally, for me, I think he's going to be the worst going forward, so I'd probably either put him in the middle. So obviously, you're pushing up the left and right mids, and then keeping him back. Or I would go with them 2 CDMs and then keep Golovin in that middle role when he pushes up that little bit more. So they're the centre mids. I think they're all round very average, obviously, to start with, but I think you can definitely start to upgrade them very, very quickly. And there's some players that you would definitely keep in there to start with and then kind of just upgrade them positions as you go along. Then we move over to the right mid or the right wing position. It's going to be GELSON Martins, 82 rated right mid. Always been quite a nice one to get at the very start. Always been cheap as well. Obviously in last FIFA he had 94 pace, 86 dribbling in fact. Only 69 shooting, which is pretty poor, but obviously with a attribute card with a chemistry style, you will be able to get that up that little bit more with, say, maybe a finisher. Personally, I wouldn't go with a hunter just because obviously he's already got 94 pace, but again, it's very, very simple to kind of just use these cards as a base level and really like project it with that chemistry style, as obviously he's not going to cost much. A couple of K, I can't imagine him going up. I think Monaco came second, I want to say. PSG obviously won it. I want to say Monaco came second. So I can imagine he may stay the same. I don't think I've heard enough of him this season to say that he'll go up to an 83, but who knows with that one. Then we go over to the striker, who's going to be Dembele. A very good striker. Obviously, he came from Celtic in 2018 to Lyon, and he's not bad, to be honest. As a starting striker, he's probably one of the more perfect strikers to get at the start. I think he's quite tall, actually. I want to say he's actually taller than what he looks on the card, because you can kind of gauge some sort of height sometimes just from looking at him, but I think they've really lowered this card down. I don't know why, but the head seems to be a lot further down, which kind of portrays that he's shorter, but actually I think he's relatively tall. Good pace on him, decent shooting, dribbling's okay, physical's up there for a starter striker, so I think definitely he will be your man to go up front. Obviously then you can go on to other strikers. Di Maria is a nice one to put there, to be honest. Falcao has obviously left now for Galatasaray, I want to say, or Besiktas, either one. I can't remember which one he went to. So there's no Falcao in the team. Mbappe could be a striker. I personally don't know if he's going to be or not, but you never know. They may put him as a striker, even though I personally still categorize him as a right wing. But Dembele is definitely going to be the starter. And then finally, we finish off the left wing with a Gradel card. Again, very much like Martins. Really nice to play with. Very, very cheap. Good pace. Decent dribbling, to be honest. Not so good on the physicals, but to be honest, with his pace, you want to be bombing up and down them wings anyway. So for me, I don't really see that too much of an issue. And especially to start with, I think for how cheap he's going to be, I think he's definitely worth putting in the team. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Make sure you give it a like and subscribe if you're around for new. We are so close to FIFA 20. I think we're 16 days or 15 days now. It's just mental. I cannot wait to be finished with all of these random videos that I just don't want to keep. I just want to play, basically. That's all I want to do. Every time I do one of these, I just want to play FIFA 20. So hopefully we will get the demo soon. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to play it as I'll be away. But you never know, we may be able to get some content just to have a look at it and kind of react over it. We'll see how that goes anyway. But apart from that, if you do enjoy these videos, make sure you give it a like. And if you want to put notifications on, press that bell button just so you're notified whenever I do a video. And I hope you enjoy. See you for the next one.